中学在到一种筛选的提了筛操数梦，会会就讲的ว่าลูกน้อยอย่าลูกเป้หลุนตู้นุ่ตีนึงก็จี้ชงสิก็จั่วยอดตรงตรง Milwaukee เซนวิสคอนซินจงลูกเป้หลุนตู้นุ่ตีนึงก็ปล่อยชงสิก็จั่วอย่าให้ลูกคงเชิงชื่อชีใจต่อตัวชื่อเซงเลยตรง Governor มุ้งได้ไปหัวเดียทองนี่เอเวอร์สอย่าตัวชื่อเซงยันตัวลูกเซนวิสคอนซินต่อตัวใช้จอเทียนชีจอไปเจนมงจุดสิ่งเรากูจะไปมันใช้จอลูกคงเชิงนอเทียต่อการนั้นอยู่ปอดจอกูตรงเราจะชื่อในลูกคงเชิงนอชิตาจอเดียลูกหอเพียเทียเกชิตรงในไปเจนมงตัวจงฟื้นอเมริกาเนี่ยหอยอยู่มุจงลิจา
This is Dr. Xia, Mahjong, and Thai food.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you. Hi there. Good to see you again. How's it going?
We're good.
Good. Thank you.
Welcome, Governor.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna sit down here a little bit.
Okay. Good.
Governor.
Good to see you, Bill.
Welcome.
Hi, Governor.
Good to
It's
see
nice to see
you.
you.
He's also live in medicine.
Great. Oh,
Thank you for coming to join us today.
Oh, there he is.
The event here is to congratulate Governor Tony Evers for running a successful campaign and for being our head person for the next few years. Thank you very much, Governor Tony Evers. If I may borrow a few words that you said in the past, I believe you said, and please don't quote me word for word, but you said that every single person has value. And if we are going to change the direction of our state, we must do it together. And it's with this optimism that the Hmong community of Wisconsin look forward to a brighter future, a better future with you as we are ready to stand with you to make those changes. Thank you very much.
election night, my wife and I stay late, watch the result of the election. And right after they confirm that our Governor, Tony Evers, is the winner, my wife's so happy and tears on her eyes. I asked her, honey, why you crying? And she said, I have hope and I believe in him. In the Hmong community, the clan system still play a very important role for the Hmong community in the United States and throughout the world. In Wisconsin, we have an organization called the 18 Council, Hmong 18 Council of Wisconsin. And the organization, every 4 years we elect a president to run the organization. And each clan elect their own representative to be the board of director. The organization, our focus and our duty is to create a culture that will provide everybody equal opportunity and equal right. The organization also have a very important program, which we train mediation training, that we train mediator, that will help to resolve problem in the family or family conflict and domestic violence. And I believe that tonight, I see quite a few judges here, and Attorney John Chipson here, and we hope to work together to make sure we have better serve the community. This message is for Tony Evers and for many other candidates and elected officials. Within the Hmong community, we have different kind of leaders. We have business leader, we have religion leader, we have organization leader, and so on. But if you want to go to a large group of people, then I suggest that you go to a clan leader because he got his members. After 40 years in the United States, many of the Hmong people are able to celebrate and enjoy their success. Many ESL students become professor, become lawyer, become doctor. Many welfare recipients become welfare contributor. Many industry workers become business owner. But as community as a whole, we still face a lot of challenge, especially for our Vietnam War veteran and our elderly population. I believe this phrase, nothing is given, everything is earned. But many times, what is earned is forgotten, and never been paid. Just last night, one of the veterans, our Hmong veteran, came to me and asked me if I can buy one of their Thai clips just to support the Hmong veteran. And I told him, give me 3. I would like to make sure that today I will have one for our Governor, Tony Evers. So I have one for you. And I would like to have a so I would like to have the veteran to give it to you and to put on you. And after I bought the Thai clip, I feel that our veteran deserve better and deserve attention and can't be forgotten. A few years ago, my mom kept asking me if I allow her to go to a senior home. And I said, why? She said, because I'm getting older and I don't want to be a burden for you. I told her, no, you got to stay with me or my brother. Somehow, 2 years ago, she got stroke. And before she came home, she needed to go through rehab. So we had to send her to a rehab facility. Every time I go visit her, she cry. I asked her, why you cry? She go, I want to go home. I asked her, why you want to go home? You told me you want to go to a senior home, and now you are in a senior home. She go, this is not what I thought it would be. This is not what I thought it would be. I tried to explain to her that she will have to stay a few weeks before she come home. And she said, no. I have no reason to care about my well-being anymore. I live in hell. No one here understands me. I understand nobody. Everybody's goes to me, and I'm goes to them. No one know I'm hungry. No one know time for me to go bathroom. What's the point I stay here for? What's the point I live here for? So this made me realize that sometimes it's not what we do, but how we do it. So I hope that the governor will open his door for dialogue, that will implement program that will serve everybody and not just a group of people, but for all. And you know what? Because we have hope and because we believe in you. Thank you, and may you be blessing. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much. Welcome Governor Rivers and your staff and all the community members for coming to join us this afternoon. I want to thank Bucking and Mrs. Bucking for letting us have this event here in this building. They are so generous. Every time we need a place, the door is open. So thank you so much. Trong sáng như trong ít trong này chỉ có tin trang số lớn ha bé từ thôi cho Governor Evers ha này cho tu tốt lên nữa. Trong sáng đó mấy cho này chỉ có tin trang mấy tu thông lưu sáng nó tu công bé lên trong sáng đó hết ta bé trẻ mỗi lúc họ chờ trong hình Bucking ha nè Bucking tu chỉ cho bé tu tu lúc trẻ nó ở tu sáng lưu sáng trong số lúc chỉ họ bé tông cái họ chờ tu chỉ thẳng là ở tu nhìn phụ cho bé rồi còn thấy họ cái bé chỉ mong bé giờ chỉ lưu lên tại trong sáng đó. So So thank you so much for the planning committee. I know I wasn't part of the planning committee, and what I love about our Hmong people is that they work so hard. The planning committee, it's all their planning. I didn't do anything to be a part of the planning, but they always give me the opportunity to be here to help celebrate. So I'm so thankful to have this opportunity to speak a little bit. And I know that what we need to do is that they've asked me to speak about few issues, priority issues in our community. The list is very long. Right? The list is very long, but I'm going to just focus on a few areas that I think are fundamental in terms of building our community, lifting our community, so that we can be strong families. When we are strong families, then we also help to make Wisconsin a strong state. So these are areas that I'll focus on, but before I continue with some of the words, you'll see these yellow sheets on your table. There's not enough for everyone, but there's some. I think it's important for us to understand where we came from a little bit, because I know everyone in this room can tell this story that I'm telling, right? I'm not unique. We all have traveled that path, so we know the story very well. But I think it's important for us to kind of be on the same page before I talk about a few of these issues that I think are very important to all of us. If you look at again, I apologize you don't all have copies, but I think it's very important to understand that Hmong people came to the United States because we earn our place in this country, right? So often people ask, why are we here? Why did we choose to come to the United States? And I'd like to rephrase that we didn't choose to come to the United States. We earned our place in this country. And I'm so thankful you mentioned my book. I think for young Hmong Americans in particular, and Wisconsinites in general, the book really helps to contextualize why we are here. And I think that we paid for it with the blood of our, fathers and grandfathers and uncles and the men and women who died so that we can be here today. So I think that's very important for us to honor. But I want to just mention that in 1980, so that we can understand our place here in this state of Wisconsin, in 1980, the U.S. Census counted 5,204 Hmong people in the United States. 5,204. But we know, right, from refugee resettlement record that from 1975 to 1980, there were 47,000 Hill Tribe refugees who have been settled in the United States. If 90% of that Hill Tribe population are Hmong, then obviously the 1980 census completely undercounted the Hmong population in this country. And that continues to be the trend throughout our experience in the United States, is that we're undercounted, okay? So you can't see this, but we know that the political, social, and economic landscape of various contexts around the country that Hmong people resettled in really determine whether or not we would stay there. And we know that so many Hmong people moved from the place that they first settled in, right? And we know that places here in Milwaukee are areas that became home to those who practiced secondary, third migration from other parts of the country. They came to make Milwaukee their home. And so it's interesting that by the year 2010, the Midwest as a region had the highest number of Hmong people. The Midwest. And our state has the third largest population. And interestingly, in 1980, the census counted 550 Hmong in the Milwaukee area. But we know there were a lot more than that. But officially, 550 Hmong in this state. And then today, Hmong presence is felt all over the state. Many of you from all over the state. We know that from Manitowoc to Sheboygan, Appleton, Eau Claire, Madison, all over. We are here to stay. And unlike the state of Minnesota, where I hail from, where I grew up, Where most Hmong are focused, concentrated in the Twin Cities metropolitan area, Wisconsin Hmong people are all over the state. So that's wonderful, and we are the largest single Asian group in this state. So if you travel around the state, if you meet an Asian person, chances are they are Hmong. So according to the 2017 American Community Survey, this is the U.S. Census Bureau's population estimate. There are 309,000 Hmong counted in 2017. So our population has grown tremendously. We continue to increase at a rate that is rapidly higher than the other communities. But what's interesting is that the percentage of American-born Hmong are now reaching over 40%, meaning that our elders that brought us to this country are passing away, and more of our population are now American-born. So they are no longer the refugees, they are my children, and they are your grandchildren who are American-born. And what's interesting is that the median age of Hmong in this state is 20 years old. So that says a lot. Most of you are going to be retiring soon, and the people working to pay for your retirement are going to be Hmong American kids, right? So it's important for us to ensure that they are equipped to help us when we are in retirement. So now that we're all on the same page, I'll just quickly go over a few items that I think are very important to our Hmong community. The first is around economics, right? We know that the Hmong community today is very different from the Hmong community in 1975 or 1980 or 1985 or 1990. We are very different today than then. We have made a lot of progress. Interestingly, right, the percentage of Hmong in Wisconsin living under the poverty level decreased from 75% in 1989 to 20% in 2010. From 1990 to 2010, the percentage of Hmong population who are in the labor force increased from 22% to 62%, meaning Hmong people are working, they're thriving, they're supporting their own families, and 50% of the Hmong by 2010 were almost to the 2020 census, so we'll have more new numbers, but more than 50% own the homes that they live in. And in terms of educational attainment, 63% of Hmong, almost 2/3, have a high school degree or higher. So that's all tremendous progress, right? Interestingly, we have many Hmong individuals, some of you in this room, who are business owners. You're doing very well. Individually, you are doing very well financially. And we have many Hmong professionals who are wonderful. They're working in the private sector, public sector, making contributions to our community as well as the larger community. So that's all great. But interestingly, despite these gains, I think that the state of our socioeconomic status in this state as well as the country continue to be of great concerns, not just for myself, but for all the families in the state, in this community. I want to highlight a few challenges that, Zomse already touched on a few of them, but I want to highlight some of the challenges that I think we as a community continue to confront. The first is that while we know that the percentage of people living under the poverty level have decreased significantly, 20% is still higher than the larger community's percentage of people living under the poverty level, which is only a little bit over 11%. I mean, we wish there would be 0%, right? But that's not the case. And what's interesting is that while 2/3, as I mentioned, of the people in our community have a high school degree or above, 9% actually have some schooling, but not high school, and 29% have no schooling at all. 29% of our community have no schooling at all. That's problematic. And in 2010, what's interesting is that we have the people who are working, 16 years and older. They're actually working, 43% of them working in manufacturing companies. So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2018, Wisconsin we were the second state, right, to add the highest number of manufacturing jobs among US states, according to, labor statistics. However, our Hmong community members who have relied so much on manufacturing jobs, they're not feeling that. They're having trouble finding jobs in manufacturing. So that's a big concern for me. And I know one thing that we are also very concerned about is that in 2010, the household median income for Hmong families is $50,000. $50,000 to support a family per year. The larger community is $64,000. So we lag $14,000 behind. And what's even more important is that our families tend to be larger. So we have lower income supporting a higher number of people. So that's very challenging for families to make ends meet. And I know that while the number of professionals have increased dramatically, there is a lack of professionals who are in highly specialized professions to meet the needs of our changing population, such as mental health. This is really important to me as I think about Wajongse's story and many other veterans. 95% of the Hmong in the state who are 65 years or older speak no English at all. That's significant. So where are they going to get the help? How are they going to be able to communicate their thoughts and feelings to professionals? So that's challenging for me. And then just a few more items. In terms of what else is important to our community, as an educator, I've been at UWM for 13 years. And one of the things I know that Governor Evers, you know this very well already, but we as Hmong Americans, we are placed in the category of Asian Americans. And we know that Asian Americans, in terms of educational attainment, actually is even higher than the white population in this country. So as Asian Americans, physically we are Asian Americans. That has not been well for our community. There are many programs, such as the McNair program, that helps students to enter graduate school. If you don't meet it by low income, if your family is not living in poverty, Hmong American students can't qualify for these because we are Asians and we are not part of the we are not part of the underrepresented minorities. So that's a big concern for me. And then what's interesting for me is that we have so many students who are, and I know you have this concern too, Governor Evers, I've heard you say this before, I know that student debt, all of you here, as well as I'm a parent as well, we are struggling. There's so many students, Hmong American students, and other students too, who come to the university, they work very hard, but if their families are just a little bit above the poverty line, they don't qualify for a lot of things. And students come to campus, they work really hard, but maybe after a year or two, they have to quit. Now they have this huge debt that they can't pay. And even if they graduate, they can't find jobs that pay a wage that they can be able to repay their loan in a reasonable amount of time. So that's a big concern for me. I've seen students finish an undergraduate degree or a BA degree owing $30,000 to $40,000. That's a lot of money for a 22, 23-year-old to pay back. And we are not alone. What I'm saying is not just for Hmong, it's across the board. And then as I think about the future of our community, I think that it's very important, right, for us to have education and training for students, for young people outside of the four-year college. And these are the things that we talk about all the time at the university in my role as an administrator. We need options for students. We need them to have jobs. We need them to have training that are for jobs that will exist in 5 years, 10 years. We all know that with artificial intelligence and all kinds of, the robots taking over all kinds of jobs that we have, how are we going to prepare our Hmong Americans so that they can be relevant in the future? Those are big concerns that students and their parents talk to me about all the time. And then last but not least, I think some of the issues around behavioral health issues is a big concern for our community. The veterans in particular, but elders, women who are very isolated in their homes. Some of the issues around substance abuse, drug and mental health, an issue that we never talk about as Hmong Americans, mental health. But that's becoming very important. Whenever there is an incident, when someone commits suicide, and when we have a huge tragedy, we come together and we are so inspired. We want to do better. But then when that issue ends, then we go back to our homes and then we don't do anything until something else happens. So I think it's important that we need to begin to think about how to be strategic in our community, being a part of the solution. I think drug and alcohol abuse is becoming so prevalent. So prevalent. If I ask all of us in this room to have a show of hands, how many of you have family members or know someone who has drug or alcohol issues? I think everybody will raise their hand, including me, right? So we feel so powerless because we can't help our loved ones. So I think that's very important for us to think about as we think about how to make our community stronger. These are issues that the committee has identified as very important. So in summary, I just want to say that, again, it's such a privilege to be here to speak to you, but I want to say that, as Jonsei says, I am also very hopeful that we can work together to lift all of our communities. And I also cried during election night, but I won't go into details. The issues that I highlight, and I know that Governor Evers and his staff knows that these are not just issues for Hmong American families in Wisconsin. They are issues for all Americans. We are not that unique. We are part of this larger community, and things that happen to this community, we are impacted, both the good and the bad. But I think that the most important part is that this reception is really the first step for us to come together and to create opportunities to find solutions, that we are here to be a part of the solution. And that for this reception, it's an opportunity for us to meet each other, and also for your administration to see that we are very passionate about our communities. And our community doesn't mean just our Hmong American community. Those of us who work in mainstream society, where a student walks into my classroom, I don't care if they're black or white or orange or purple, they pay money to come to my class, they are all going to get the same thing. So I think I want to end with that it's all of our opportunities to work with your administration, and thank you for the committee to allow me to share some of this reflections about what we can do together. But I think that it is really meaningful partnerships that we need, not just words that we can say to each other. Anybody, words are important, but they're just words. They have to come with action. So with that, I want to say I didn't plan a gift for the governor, but I felt like because Jonsei did this, I have to do something too. That's one thing about me, is that I am so Hmong, but then I'm not that Hmong and I don't remember. But luckily, hot off the press, as mentioned, my book, As a Scholar, It's a Dream Come True, published by Oxford University Press. So, Governor, I will give you this book as a token of appreciation, and also as a reminder about our veterans and the sacrifices they made, so that I can stand here to, give you these remarks, and then to shake your hand as governor of this great state of Wisconsin.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very, very much. It is an honor to be here tonight, and please have a seat. Thank you. So, Professor VANG and President Zong-Se, I cried too. I cried also on November 6th. It was a great win, and I certainly appreciate all the support I got from all across the state, and especially from the Hmong community. The other thing that I just have to I have to also say something right off the bat. How come Minnesota has a legislator that's Hmong and Wisconsin does not? Who's next? Somebody in this audience. We value diversity in this state, but we also have to value diversity within politics and the legislature, and I'm hoping some folks would step forward going forward. It is so important. It's so important for us as a state to recognize all the diversity we have. And just a second about my connection with the Hmong community. I had the opportunity when I was Deputy State Superintendent. Some of you may have heard this story before, but I have to repeat it because I remember it. I remember it especially with this beautiful Thai clip I have. As Deputy State Superintendent, I had an opportunity to go to Thailand and Laos with leading a group of Hmong educators in the state of Wisconsin. It was a great opportunity for me. I learned a lot. I learned about the importance of culture and language to this community. And the thing I remember most is going on a bus across the Mekong River from Thailand to Laos. And the Hmong educators in the bus, many of them had crossed the river going the other way to Thailand, and many years ago. And the emotion in the bus, you could feel it. It was electric. And what it reminded me of is how important that this group of people, these 18 families, are to not only to U.S. of A. but to the entire world. And the people that were on that trip with me left a lasting impression on me and in my life. So I just want to thank you for that. That it was really a life-changing opportunity. Professor VANG talked a little bit about a lot about the fact that, as a state, we are doing better than we have in the past. But in turn, a recent United Way story or study, I'd say about 9 months ago now, it's previous to the election because I talked about it a lot. But we have low unemployment, and the argument is that the state is just pushing ahead economically. Well, the fact of the matter is, the United Way study showed that there's 840,000 families in the state of Wisconsin, many of them of your 18 families, are struggling just to pay the bills, whether it's rent, whether it's child care, whether it's food. Now that to me is not a very healthy society. So that's why I ran for this office, and frankly I think that's why I won. So those things that are important to you are important to me, and are reflective of the budget that we've prepared and is now in front of the legislature. The three issues. There's three issues that primarily our campaign focused on, not because of all the great wisdom up here, but it was the wisdom of the people I was listening to as I ran for office. And that is healthcare, education, and transportation, criminal justice system. Those issues are really important to the people of Wisconsin. And after we won, Lieutenant Governor Barnes and I went across the state listening to people again saying, okay, we're about to hopefully change Wisconsin, and we're going to start that change through our budget process. So what do you want us to advocate for? And that's exactly what we've done. I'll use healthcare as an example. Under previous administration, they decided that they didn't want to engage in the federal government's opportunities for them, Medicaid expansion. By taking that Medicaid expansion, just by taking that extra money, 82,000 people would be covered by health insurance that aren't now. That's a good thing. But most importantly, making that step to say we want to be partners with the federal government on our health care, we receive an extra $320 million that we will spend on health care, such as women's health care, making sure that we no longer have such a high infant mortality rate here in the state of Wisconsin, making sure that the providers of health care are reimbursed at a higher level, and making sure that all people in the state of Wisconsin have the opportunity to have accessible and affordable health care. To me, it's a no-brainer. I need your, I know you do too, but we need your help going forward to convince others in the legislature of this program. In addition, as was mentioned before, we're asking for a $1.4 billion increase in our education funding, which will impact all kids. My personal belief around this is quite simple. If a kid needs an extra lift, they should get an extra lift, and if that extra lift costs money, then by golly, we pay for that extra lift. And that is part of our platform. That's where we're looking for $600 million additional money in issues around students with disabilities, English learners, and others. We have to have these resources in order to make make our society better. We have to invest in the University of Wisconsin system, Professor VANG. We lost $250 million under Scott Walker. We are increasing it now $150 million this biennium, and we hope to catch everybody up. We also have to, and Professor VANG knows this, being a faculty member, and those of you who work for either the government or the University of Wisconsin system, we no longer can make the employees that do the work in this great state, whether it's in the University of Wisconsin system or in the public sector, our enemy. It doesn't work. The people that do the hard work, should be valued, and I think that's exceedingly important, and we're going to be also doing this. The other issues that are important to you, actually I was in Wausau last week or the week before, meeting with the Hmong Chamber, and had great conversation, and the issue about mental health and behavioral health was absolutely critical, and I know the resources that we're going to have for school kids, but also adults, and also, frankly, those that are in nursing homes and others have other facilities have that behavioral health help that they need in order to live productive lives. That's what we should want for all of people in the state of Wisconsin, and that's what we're going to be advocating for going forward. So we have a huge lift ahead of us. We won a great election. Now we need to make sure that the issues that are important to the people of Wisconsin, we take those forward and make our state a much better place to live for you and all your children and your elders who may not be here this evening. But we have a great opportunity. We just need to find common ground with the people that help me make these decisions, and sometimes it seems like a lost cause, but I can tell you, I'm not going to give up. We have to be strong around this these issues, and I need your help to make sure we accomplish them. So have a great evening. Thanks so much for your support in the past, and it's a wonderful opportunity for me to be here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. So next what we want to do is we're going to do a traditional Hmong Basi Kite. Again, I'm going to invite the 12 who have been invited as our special guests to come tie a string. The rest of you, if you would please remain seated, and then you can watch. And then after this, we'll do our photo event with the governor, so you have an opportunity to come and meet with them. Nó bây giờ thấy cho để biết cóสิ่ง là có gì สิ่ง là khi trong mùa xuân to giặt gì thì tiền mà biết cho nên cho tụ lò đó mà vì thế nếu chúng ta sử dụng để giúp biết thì nếu sử dụng bao nhiêu thì chúng ta phải làm gì bây giờ cái cho thấy cho là cái cho những cho สิ่ง là khi trong mùa thì thọ này rồi tùy tất cả nó là gì biết là cần là thấy công đồ để họ photo booth nhưng tất cả nó để mà có sự là có công mong được cho những cái chỉ những cái thấy công đồ dùng đó. So again, please be seated, and then you'll have an opportunity after this to have take a picture with the governor, shake his hand, and a few minutes to say a few words with him.
Good health, prosperity, and a very successful 4 years and plus 4.
thọ gì nữa cho điện gì cứ tin lên cho sẽ nữa thọ gì nữa bây lúc xưa chỉ giàu thế thì giờ là chỉ bây thái áo bây tu cho community leader là khi sư on behalf của toàn dân được bây trên nền mong hay để bây giờ bây trên nền mong hữu thế gì kia là chỉ để cho vào chỉ tao là khi lo là đi sát tu xia thế cho sáng ra trên tàu nên you guys toàn dân leader này giống một opportunity you chỉ tu governor thế nên chỉ có lọt trong đây lúc trong chỉ lọt trong đây thả thế là hai lúc trong đây thế lọt trong đây sẽ để cho nó tháo ra gì thế nên sẽ là Washington professional thế này.
Greetings from Minnesota. Representative XIONG, I'm here to tell you that Hmong Community. I'm going to read you one information on the legislature. We'll look at the budget. We'll get you a couple of candidates here.
Great, if you can go back to your seat.
Em chỉ cho để lúc họp thêm mà nó này giờ đi chả thế.
Dạ, vấn đề chấp nhận nó chỉ và dòng xe đồ sông mông, có hạt trường sĩ lúc sơ chạy chán cưng gồ, cho tôi thay tên nó có bé sông mông cho nhau đây nhau gì, họ tôi còn chỉ tao bé là có sẽ được tôi nó bỏ thế. Nó sửa thì giờ in nông chạy chán cưng gồ và giờ in nông công mông là giờ. Và bé chia sẻ thì governor, giờ bé tụ governor và nhau bé lúc sáng nó nửa giờ tua họ nó tua hạ bé lò lụt bé trồng mông sờ đời thế tua hiểu bé sờ mà lúc họ phía bé uo nó bé cụ chỉ mua họ phía lót chi bé trồi rong xe thì nửa giờ bé tụ governor nửa tàu lò uo governor là chỉ bé sờ rong xe trong nửa bé uo ít khó nhiều và fundraising mình chỉ cho nửa tua hiểu bé sờ đời có sờ đời mua cho cái sinh chi mua cho cái phong cái dư tóm đây nó mồ nửa tàu lò uo bé tụ governor là còn họ bỏ thì bé cho mong nhau lúc sáng nó bây họ contribute giả tư bây họ giả tư trong lúc sáng nó chỉ ta lấy bây họ giờ cho bây sáng nhau nó giả tư bây họ ní nửa ba lò còn họ ba đầu bây giả tư bây họ giờ ba đầu đồ lúc sáng nó có bây hai năng mỹ cả nó hay giả trong theo bản mong cha lò bây hai năng mong nó bây tuy họ mỹ cả ý dạng gầu giờ tây giả này tây giả bây giờ u ấy có bây một số cái phong dương nó còn lo theo có trong cha lấy họ cũ lúc state capital de Minnesota mà có chỉ số đây là nhau Washington DC thì chỉ có riêng đó có bây giờ mong nó sáu mươi chín nữa sáu mươi chín nữa bây giờ nó chỉ mong cho tuổi cộng hòa mong tên nó sáu mươi chín nữa là còn khác nữa lúc họ trong bây giờ mong họ nói giờ bây giờ cái gì chứ
mà nó bắt đầu từ mua trong tuổi đã cái nó cũng chỉ tao sau lúc sửa thế ít錢trả thì有mua nên trong một lý do tôi cũng lúc cũng chơi được mà nó thế
trở lại bây lúc committee sẽ được ba mà vì hạt tiền xã có sự tôi chống thì khi governor lúc sẽ hỏi là người cũng bị busy thế bây giờ mong là cho là sẽ được busy thì lấy bây giờ ở nó giờ sáng để thì cả thì sẽ được chia sẻ thì tôi sẽ lấy ốp của tờ rồi bây của tờ lăng thì khi tí cho nó cho và năng chẳng chẳng cho business cho tuổi cộng hòa thì cho tuổi cho để sang để bây giờ mong sẽ được giờ cho chẳng chẳng như giờ phần đầu giờ cho tôi nó mà bây giờ sẽ cần gọi là thì bây mua lúc committee chốt khó và tăng ra cho nó giờ bây giờ committee members sẽ được ship hay thì bây họ hú này chỉ tàu xua này thì tụi nhớ tàu chế chỉ tàu bao là vì lúc sẽ tí chỉ tới lúc sẽ chẳng chẳng chỉ tàu chỉ chẳng theo than chỉ giờ bây theo chỉ tàu hai chỗ này là sáu tụi xe họ bây uo nó bây uo khai xe lưu tăng cho uo ba đầu bây trồng mong sẽ được tí gì
giờ thì cho nó cho committee này bộ môn đó chỉ hai giờ mà nó giờ ít mà chỉ sáng và cho chỉ tụi chỉ sáng tôi sai cho bên môn đồ nó thế này cái bộ môn đó chỉ thế
cú chúng tôi đã chỉ thế chỉ cho tới hai ta cho chừng chắc là họ ít con gì họ thì tới rồi nó rồi thì họ cũng luôn năng họ sang Wisconsin mà bên mong tàu ở cái này nó cha lúc công trình này là một sau bên tụ governor ya thay rồi ya governor đuổi rồi nó rồi thì họ nói họ cũng ra thì nếu khi đó bên mong là thì bên lo rồi là ya bên chỉ họ năng bóng tay chờ bên họ năng bên sẵn nhà họ sang Wisconsin nó bên họ cái ở đây nó ở đâu có sẽ được bỏ thì bên mong nó một chữ nhớ để nó ra bên giờ bên sẵn này nó bên tụ này nó governor là cũng chẳng bỏ bên chân năng thế là của họ tôm cổng bên thế họ nói họ symbolize thì bên giờ citizen là bên sau bên tụ này nó governor nhất là họ sang Wisconsin nó có lỡ bỏ thì bên mong nhớ Wisconsin nhìn chung thế.
mấy种菜我只讲个还大的是主要好买卖呢，我搞我一看到嘛，我搞这边在蒙丹他家Wisconsin呢，对了哈，搞governor 呢，也当对呢，呢到哪的，可能路被在蒙天了嘛，他真正呢，可能路被在蒙呢。
nhất là sắp tới nó đây
sorry
我们是nhất là nó chỉ sáng là có về tôi sai tuần chỉ bé mong nhất là luôn rồi Milwaukee này có một cái sao để trả thế
basically mấy种哈ลูกลีเลยฮะในพ้นชอบพวกยิงข้าวเบิดตังเลยเจ้ากูสาวแต่เขาหน่อยอีกข้อกงส่งคือไปโอเช่าหนึ่งฮะมองไป bridge together ฮะแต่ไปมอง Wisconsin น้อยอ๋ปีหิวเลยคือในเมโซตาฮะไอ้ก็ไปมูเจรูจนเด็กคือเจ้าหน่อยจะจื้อไม่กล้าไอ้ก็ไปมองลูกจิมหัวซาจอเลยคือถอคือยังตังลูเดี๋ยวเขาหน่อยอีกข้อคืออยู่ปังต่อไปมองคือก็ไปมอง connection จะไปเจ้าหน่อยจื้อไม่กล้าเดี๋ยวsao ta mà nó bây giờ chỉ lấy số tu cho cứ cho nó cho nó cho họ hát cho cứ bữa nay cho cứ tôi chỉnh chỉnh hát bây giờ sử dụng cứ lấy bây giờ sai cái gì mà bây giờ risk cho phần bằng cho bây giờ governor cha nó ha
cái nàyผมเอาไปแล้วหรือหายตัวเลยหายตัวมันเกี่ยงเสียหมดเลยจ้ะที่เขาไม่ได้ชี้หายตัวสุดท้าย
รงเชียน่ะไปว่าเจอตรงกับมันตัวนั้นไปย่อยเปลี่ยนเรารงเชียเขาชื่อเส้นจับเลยมาอย่าเดี๋ยวไปสายเดี๋ยวนี่ว่าอย่าไปตัวว่าถ้าจอย่อ Wisconsin เราจะไปสายเจอในตัวนั้นไปก่อนไปจอว่าก็ที่มองย่อ Wisconsin ย่อยเปลี่ยนสายเดี๋ยวเราเนาะมันถ้าเราแต่ชิมาชิปูเดี๋ยวเราเกินนะจะสุกมุกับมันจีก็ไปว่าจอว่ามองย่อ Wisconsin เนาะฮะรงเชียให้เดี๋ยวไปไม่ตัวจอตัวนั้นไปว่าก่อนว่าย่อยเปลี่ยน
ก็เนี่ยก็ยังตัวยี่ห้อจก้าโดเต้เก๋ว่าการเมืองเรา politics ของเราหลังเด้เลยเนี่ยมันเนี่ยยังไม่ชิดเส้นชับเลยก็สายจัดแท้
กูสายเดียนเนาะเนี่ยยังเขาร้องว่าอยู่เราว่ากับเป็นมุ่งจ่าอย่าเวทีเป็นยอดรุ่นที่เชิญนอมาเป็นยันหนึ่งเป็นสิ่งที่เชิญนอเลยเป็นจีอย่าเป็นสิ่งมองจีเป็นสิ่งบล็อกเดี๋ยวเลยเป็นสิ่งมีการนะพี่มาเป็นจุดต่อว่าเจริญแล้วก็เก๋ว่าน่าว่าเขาเนี่ยที่เชิญนอเราจะเก๋อยู่มูเราจีฝืนรุ่นที่เชิญนอจะกูบอกร้องให้เดี๋ยวร้องนอจะร้องที่อะไรประตามไม่ร้องให้ว่าเป็นจะกูที่นี่จำมุ่งยอดสิ่งวิสคอนซินนอมัวจะเก๋ว่ากงเตะตัวมัวไอ้เขาโรงเรียนนอมันยังไอ้เขาจริงจริงว่าเป็นอย่างนั้นอยู่เราหมกข้อเขียเราจะมูหายเต่าจะเป็นลูก community เนี่ยเขา Wisconsin นะเดียแต่อยากโรงเรียนเนี่ยจริงจริงเราเป็นเห็นเป็นจะว่าแต่ว่าแต่เจ้ารงบริจาคเราเนี่ย主要เดียเป็นนะ包着เป็นตัวหน่อตัวจืดเนี่ยเราเป็นลูกได้เชิญดาวเทียมมาเป็นเนี่ยตอนตลอดนะว่าจะ
ก็เนี่ยผมรู้ได้ชี้
กูอยากดร.จับว่าเลยนู่นนอมาไปจอ committee ของนอตัวอัวอีขอพิธีนอรงเชื่อใจต่อไปตัว governor vì nữ chính trị tàu bao bây giờ muốn dùng có bây uo nó mà bây sa uo còn nữ bao bây giờ mong thế có bao bây mong nó cho cái lịch cái trái có tòn đây nó có governor nó bao giờ bây giờ mong hay chờ lương economic development đây nó là còn nữ bỏ giờ bây giờ mong còn nó ba đầu bây giờ mong thế chỉ còn ít khó thànhที่อีว่าbây sa uo còn nữ bao bây giờ mong dùng cha còn nó xưa chỉ cũng mua luôn số tròn
ผมว่า
กูอยากช่องทอดเชี่ยวกูอยากอีตัวคือป้างจากคอมมิดี้นะครับกูเช่นแต่ลูกก็เช่นเราไปลูกโออยากไปโอจะไปจับมองไอ้ก็ไปเสียเมียจากคือมีสตาร์ทก่อนไปเราไม่สามารถจะไปจ่ายไปจีจ่ายได้ใช่ไหมวิลิจายงตีแต่ไปสเลหูจิตสดเลยไปโนโอโนอยากโอโจสดเลยจีอยากโอโจอีเล็กตัวจีอยากโอโจเป้จะโอโจเป้สดเลยตอนนั้นไอ้กูหมดรู้เลยนะสิ
ที่เรารู้เกินเนี่ยเรารู้เกินเนี่ยก็ผมรู้หายตัวสุดท้ายแท้
thầu sau nó cú sa hại bên lò đầu bên trồng mông nhau thông phở số khăn xe chơi เตียไปมองอย่าอีตูลูกสั่งอย่าสั่งช่องสั่งก่อซื้อจะเนี่ยเขาตื่นรอก่อไปจะได้ชิลูไปชิฝืไปชิเชอชิงกาอย่าไปชิลูเลยลูอย่าเนี่ยไปลูอย่าเชอไปลูอย่าปอเตียไปรองเจลูอย่าตื่นรออย่าจุ่มปล้อมมันดูจุ่มใส่มันลูเตียไปถอยอย่าตื่นรอลูอย่ามัวก่อลูป้าอย่าตื่นรอลูอย่าป้าเขาเนี่ยเขาจังจังอย่าไปมองวิสคอนซินอย่าอีลูสเตย์ว่าไปกูเนี่ยโตชิลูชิเฮาชิตาลีไปมองวิสคอนซินรอไปกูอย่าอีจอดที่นั่งว่าไปยังฝืนนอฝืนจื้ออย่าเลยตรงกบเนินนอนตลอว่ากบเนินนอนนี้รงเชียเราไปจงมองให้เดียไปอย่าอีจะไปสั่งจงหัวนอไอ้น้องนอนตัวหัวนอเจียเชียเดียมูลูรงอาชิลอนี่ก็หายตัวเสด็จต่อการตาหัวนอเลยกูเจียเชียเดียลูกหัวจงแต่ไปมองที่โฮสเตย์แคปิตอลโอเมริสานายกให้เราไปมองไอ้ตอนเต้นว่าลีว่าทองกบเนินด้วยให้ว่าเนื้อใจเราอย่าไปเจเราอย่าเนื้อใจไอ้ก็ไปหมดสักกี่ชิลูลีนอไอ้ไปมองที่นี่หมดสักกี่วันมั่งไอ้ว่าจอเราก็รู้เชื่อที่คณะว่าจะสเตปเขาช่วงมองเจอตัวเขาไปเต้นนอไอ้วันนี้เจอจอก่อนในต่อกงต่อมองจงก่อนในเจอนักการเงินจงนะ我知道了我知道 thank you
一种赛事的可能好把大人的，有路工程持续，你都能Milwaukee和Wisconsin，这路北领都是能够保障这个做，要持续在到都持续，我们被活的 Tony Evers，到多几天到多赛被真的梦，古有日子话的话，那个容易存速度，这么进去的。